projection, 'cause it's time to wake people up, right here, right now.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Horry Sheet Show's Flat Earth Weekly Digest for May 22nd to the 28th of 2017. There's a lot to cover, so let's get started. Over in Dell's corner on the YouTube channel Beyond the Imaginary Curve, Dell posted another great interview video where he engages some students in a conversation about flat Earth, and you can really see their minds just start to get blown around the 10-minute mark when he gets into things like fluid dynamics. Check it out, link is down below. This week on Globebusters, they elaborated on a video from last week with Mike Helmick and how people on the ISS may actually be using augmented reality contact lenses, and they examined certain mechanics of the ISS and how it seems pretty impossible to sustain life up there when you consider things like the extreme heat or cold and how they go about cooling things up there. They've also been talking a lot this week about accelerometers and how they work versus gyroscopes and how gravity is actually not playing the role that we're told. They also talked about a well-known Russian physicist with some credentials. He's got several degrees. He's a graduate in engineering and mechanics. He's a doctor of philosophy and physics, several other things. And Bob also went into some more detail about how NASA could possibly be using helium blimps for rockets. Also, Michikaku said that the flag they took and planted on the moon was made of tinfoil. Down in the comments, I want you to let me know if you think that's true or not. And check out that video from Globebusters in the source links below. So, what's up with Brian Mullen? Well, the word on the plane is that somebody reported him for some sort of ethics violation with the Society of Professional Engineers. Whether or not that's true, well, who knows? It's kind of creepy that his Facebook and YouTube channel is indeed removed or hidden or private or whatever for the time being, while other rumors are suggesting he's taking some time off for family reasons. You decide. Let me know if you've heard anything about it down below in the comments so we can all get an update. This week on Jeranism, he hosted a NASA live spacewalk discussion, and boy, let me tell you, there were several problems wrong with this one. There was at least 5 different occasions, if not more, where I saw bubbles float across the screen, and at some point in the stream, it seemed to get dark, like nighttime, and then it got sunny seconds later. I'm not sure if this was some exposure setting going crazy or what, but apparently it was more entertaining than NASA's actual live stream, as the Jeranism stream was scoring literally several hundred more viewers. Take a look.
Hey, I got good news though. Look at this. I've got 862 people watching live. NASA 169. I got to show you this. This is great. So NASA's got 167 people and I've got 867. Who's winning now, NASA?
Also this week, Mark Sargent made a guest appearance on Jaren's show over at truthfrequencyradio.com. They talked a lot about Matt Boyland or Math Powerland. I'm not even 100% sure what the guy's name really is because it's everywhere, but they also talked about Bill Nye and Neil deGrasse Tyson and how they just don't have legit credentials to be speaking on all these subjects that they're talking about, and how the media really blows them up and uses them for everything when there are other people who are spending their whole lives studying the kinds of things that they are being asked about. They also talked about the space race and why we're trying to go to Mars instead of setting a base up on the moon. I mean, if we've been there several times now, why aren't we setting up camp on the moon to keep the human race alive if something ever happened, here on Earth? And check out the video down below. It's in the source links. Also this week, Antonio Subirates seized the mic on stage to what seemed like some kind of open mic comedy thing, but instead of doing comedy, he basically just told a story about how Google's search engine will help you finish typing the words "Earth is flat" if you simply start typing "Earth is." It's a good way to make people start thinking, that's for sure. Kudos to you, Antonio. Keep planting those seeds. A YouTuber by the name of Pastor Ernest put out a video this week titled, "We've seen planes flying higher than the sun." The internet is blowing up with news articles about the flat Earth lately, and one article featured this video. In this one, Pastor Ernest is teaching a child that planes fly higher than the sun. I don't think that's what's happening at all. Instead, I think that the plane is just far enough away from the sun that due to perspective and how we see things on a flat plane, the sun seems to be meeting up with the horizon in the distance. And basically, from that plane's distance from the sun, it will basically make it seem like the the plane is higher than the sun, but that's not what's happening. And the clouds being lit from the bottom sort of help that illusion along. Another video from Rob Skiba that I've highlighted before will really show you why that seems to happen. Links are down below. Comment on this video below. Tell me what you think about this. Should we reach out to Pastor Ernest with new information, or do you think that planes actually fly higher than the sun? Next up, ladies and gentlemen, some very special footage has emerged this week. I'm very happy to announce NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory has just released the first look of Jupiter's North Pole taken from... Now wait, let me finish. This picture was taken from NASA's Juno mission to Jupiter. Scientists discussed their first in-depth science results in a media teleconference on May 25th when multiple papers with early findings were published online by the Science and Geophysical Research Letters journal. Juno launched on August 5th, 2011 from Cape Canaveral Air Force Station in Florida and is said to have arrived in orbit around Jupiter on July 4th, 2016. Just let your little eyes take a gander on some of these pictures. If you can't tell that these are frickin' garbage sauce, then there's no hope for you. But then again, if you think this is real, let's back up to the Saturn Cassini video that's been playing in the IMAX theater for quite some time now. This is said to have been created using real photos from Saturn and strung together to make an animation, I guess. This honestly looks like very bad video game graphics. And to all of you who have played video games for the past 10 years, if you think this is real, shame on you. And get your head out of your ass. Next up, from episode 163 of Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes this week, have you heard about the guy who took a spirit level on an airplane to recently prove the flat Earth? Well, he goes by the name of D. Marble and hails from Tacoma, Washington. And he got absolutely hammered this week by plenty of news sites. And the main reason that the articles were making fun of the guy was basically because they are firm in their belief that gravity is supposedly the force that keeps the bubble in the spirit plane perfectly level and between the lines while you travel hundreds of miles across the surface of a ball Earth. That 203-mile flight that he had would equate to about 5 miles of curvature. That plane would have to either climb up or head downhill at some point in that flight if he were on a ball. And by the end of it, the physical level itself would not be parallel to the ground. Here, let's let D. Marble explain it. This really needs to sink in for some folks.
But, can I talk about one of the rebuttals for the experiment? Okay, so... Awesome. So what I get from people as far as the experiment goes is they'll say, well, no, because gravity, they love that one. Gravity, because the plane is maintaining altitude, it's going to be flying along the plane, and it was just flying straight because gravity. So, and I'm like, all right, cool. Let's say that is the case. That's why the plane was flying level. Now, in your model, what you're saying is the plane was flying level. I showed that the plane is flying level. But even if it were just flying level, and if it did just decrease velocities to maintain altitude, at some point, the ground beneath is still going to curve. So at some point, you're going to have to dip the nose forward in order to compensate for the curvature. And over the course of 203 miles, that didn't happen. In your face, Glober.
Next up is Kyle McDonald in his video titled Geosynchronous Flat Earth Myths. Towards the beginning of this video, he explains some of the myths about satellites pointing only towards the horizon, and he explains how they point in different areas of the world. This video is really worth a watch so we can sort of clean up the flat Earth discussion and remove the bad so-called proofs of the flat Earth from circulating and confusing people who are genuinely just trying to spread this truth. He also talks a bit about the possibility of helium balloons being used in place of rockets by NASA and how it would be easier to land such a thing as well versus a real rocket, and I agree with him there. He then goes on to share his personal beliefs about the shape of the world and that he feels it could even be both round and flat somehow, so check it out, it's worth a watch. Saw this in Infinite Plane Society's live stream this week. The YouTuber thedailyplane.com has just launched a GoFundMe to fund a billboard that will display flat Earth awareness content. And get this, in 1 week the advertisement will be played 9,450 times and be viewed over 338,000 times. Check out the website thedailyplane.com and also theflatearthreport.com. They are both flat Earth news websites that have emerged. Show them your support and share on. Links are down below. Now, I've got another one for all of you who like to tout your fancy degrees if you're a Glober watching this. And more people like Jeff here are stepping up and making these kind of videos. Have a listen. I don't want to steal Jeff's thunder. Hit it, Jeff.
Hello, my name is Jeff Sanchez. I'm a registered professional engineer in the state of New Mexico. I've got a little over 15 years of experience in engineering. A lot of those years in the design and construction of highways and bridges, and in that industry I can tell you that contractors and engineers are very constrained by slope percentages across short and long distances. If the earth were curved, that would be something that we'd have to take into account on a regular, if not a daily basis. In my 15 years of experience, I can tell you that I've never had to take the curvature of Earth into account, and I've never known anyone to have had to take it into account. In addition to that, as an engineer, I can tell you that the fluids that we experience and feel and observe as people every day, such as the Earth's atmosphere, the lakes, the seas, the oceans, act nothing like they should or would on a spinning globe. Based on my experience and other research that I've done, I'm 100% sure that the Earth is flat and not moving. Please help spread the word. Peace and God bless.
The Flat Earth asshole pushed out another video this week. Oh man, remind me not to say that again. He goes after Mick West and Joe Rogan for round 3 of his set of videos. Check it out, the link is down below. Now here's something interesting for you guys. A YouTube channel by the name of Ephesians 612 has put up a video showing how a website called Beyond Horizons has proven a flat Earth via their gallery featuring world record long distance photography. Check it out as he explains how we can't possibly be seeing this far on a ball. He explains how if you can see supposedly further than the ISS across to another mountain 275 miles from you, you do the math, how far should these mountains be under the curve of Earth? A link to this video is down below. Make sure you check that one out. Next up this week, Infinite Plane Society and Nathan Oakley made a video titled Flat Earth United Heliocentric Heroes. They talked about how people think entertainment and government is separate from media, but they're all really connected. When the government has an agenda, first they put it into the entertainment so that it gets into the culture, then they use the media to introduce it as a real thing, whether it's a school shooting or global warming or some other kind of psyop. They then go on to talk about how figures like Stephen Hawking may be perpetuating the ball lie just by how somebody like him was planted as a popular figure that maybe resembles something within the science fiction entertainment industry, something like a super intelligent brain on a life support system or something similar. Really interesting conversation for sure. Check it out. Yes, the link is down below. A YouTuber with the channel Keeping It Flat is putting out his street interviews. Check out his videos where he poses the topic of fake news to random people in his park and then drops the flat earth questions on them. One guy's being interviewed and he says, "I've seen the curvature. I've been on the ocean before. I've seen it." And then he follows up with, "I don't believe for a second that the earth is flat." We need to educate more people, and this is what I like to see. Keep them coming, man. Links are down below, guys. Check out his channel. Show him some support. Also, there was cause for celebration this week as JM Truth TV's channel received 2 copyright strikes after putting up a Joe Rogan video this week, but he fought and won against those strikes and is now back in good standing in the eyes of YouTube. But I just wanted to let everyone know to dot your I's and cross your T's when it comes to putting out anything that may warrant you a strike, I guess. As far as I know, commenting on things or providing news or reporting on current events will make almost anything fall under the fair use clause. Regardless, be careful. And to wrap this show up, if you're interested in some of the history behind Polaris and you'd like your head to be spinning about as much as mine when it comes to pondering the stars and their rotation in the sky with the Earth's axis and wobble and all of its tilts and precession and the stuff we're seeing in the skies, well, go ahead and check out the lengthy conversation that Jaron had with the flat earther Orphan Red on Globebusters this Sunday. To sum it up, let's not attack people searching for the truth. Nobody has the right answer at the moment, and nobody knows who's even close, and we should all be think tanking and really questioning what we've all been told for all this time. Links are down below. That's it for the Flat Earth Digest this week. Let me know if I've missed anything good, and I'll be sure to add it to the honorable mention show that I'll be doing at some point here in the future. Until next time, remember, share the truth and you set yourself free. I'm here to wake people up. Who's with me?